Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Clean Touch, and every now and then I'm Clean Touch like never seen before. In this video, I'll give you an introduction to Blender. So let's get into it, shall we? In this video, we're going to talk about the following. What is Blender? Who uses Blender? Key features of Blender. How do I use Blender? How do I use it? How do I um how do I get it first? Sorry. How do I use Blender? Followed by from there we'll talk about the interface. Overview of the interface. Then we'll create our very first project in Blender. So let's kickstart. 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 What is Blender? Blender is a free and open source 3D creation suite. With Blender, you can create 3D visualizations such as still images, 3D animation, VFX shots, and video editing. Being cross-platform, Blender runs on the major desktop operating systems such as Linux, macOS, and Windows. It also has relatively smaller memory and storage requirements compared to other 3D softwares in its class. Its interfaces uses OpenGL to provide a consistent user experience across all supported hardware and platforms. So then, you might be wondering, who uses Blender anyway? Blender has a wide variety of tools, making it suitable for almost any sort of media production. People, artists like me, architects, engineers, and studios around the world use Blender for hobby projects, commercials and advertisements, simulation, architectural visualization, game asset creation, feature films, 3D printing, and so many other cool stuff. Key features of Blender. Blender is a fully integrated 3D content creation suite offering a broad range of essential tools including modeling and sculpting, rendering, rigging and animation, simulation, VFX, compositing, texturing, video editing. Okay, wow, that's great. So Blender is really nice. So how do I get it? How do I get Blender? You can get Blender, the latest version of Blender from the official websites, blender.org. The link will be in the description below this video. After going through all the setup process that you normally find in all softwares, Blender looks a lot like this. Now I want you to understand that Blender is divided into three sections. We have the top bar, areas, which is the middle one, status bar. So let's talk about the areas in details. The areas, short for areas, just areas, okay? Areas. The 3D viewports. This is where you do modeling, sculpting, rigging, and animation. This is where most of your work will be done. The timeline editor is where you create basic animation using keyframes. The outliner shows you the list of all your objects in your environment or your scene. The properties editor, though, it shows you advanced options in Blender. Anyway, in the splash screen to get rid of it. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to create a house, okay, inside of Blender. To create a house, we need to edit an object. So come over here and choose edit mode, or hit tab on your keyboard and choose edit mode. Good. So while we are in edit mode, hit S on your keyboard to scale, or use one of these gizmo. Let's use this. Scale. We want to add a loop cut. So to do that, use the loop cut tool. Where is it? Where is it? Loop cut. Hit it and hit it over here. And last one, gonna hit it here. Cool. One more. Now, before we continue, I want to explain some terminologies. In 3D mesh, there's what we call a vertices, edge, and face. Vertices are essentially a point in 3D space. They have no scale, no rotation. They just have a location. Like I am here. You see, no matter how we zoom in, we never see that little dot over there. We never get anywhere close. You just have a location. An edge is where two vertices connect with each other. Okay, so these are two vertices. A face is as a result of three or more connected edges, which are these lines around the face. Then they form a surface, which we call a face. Okay, so to shoot between vertices, edges, this line, and faces, this surface, we select these buttons: vertices, edges, and faces. Cool. So let's continue. Use your scroll wheel to zoom in and zoom out. Okay. And Blender use a scroll wheel to zoom in and zoom out. Scroll wheel up, zoom up, in, scroll wheel down, zoom down. To rotate, you can either use this gizmo, or you click middle, press your middle mouse button and drag your mouse. That will rotate. And if you want to pan, hold down shift and middle mouse button, drag. Or you can use these gizmos here, here. Hold down shift, you can select multiple. So with that selected, use this tool here called move and take it up. We've just created our roof. And so let's create our door. Use the same tool and take it up. Cool. Now we want to create a door. So we need to delete this face. Go to mesh, scroll all the way down to delete, and choose faces. That will get rid of our face. We can go back to object mode. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you learned something. So don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below.